My name is PJ,
I'm CJ.
and you're welcome to
Naked
Issues. Today's topic is a very interesting one, CJ. Many people look at us, CJ, and they are like, oh, I love this beautiful couple. I admire the kind of love and admiration they have for each other.
Only the
I wish my relationship can be like this. Well, we did not just jump here. If you we also have our story that led to where we are right now, and that is what we're about to share with you. There was also a time in our marriage when we wanted to break up. We wanted to go our separate ways. In fact, it was 2 years into the marriage. We decided that we were not meant for each other. So let's just call it quits.
Cheating again, like we're not.
So true. The I do that we said on the altar, we were ready to undo it at that point.
They said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired.
We live in very interesting times, CJ. And in these times we live, we have observed in recent times how many of our models and celebrities are divorcing left, right, and center. And one begins to wonder if the institution called marriage is actually worth it at the end of the day. Well, we want to share our own story that would have led to our breakup.
Issues. PJ said he did not want to marry again because I was not cooking food for him. I was not
cooking food for you.
Calm down. So
Okay.
he said that I was not living up to the expectation of womanhood. I don't used to wake up early in the morning to cook. I don't used to clean the house the way he likes it. He doesn't like to touch sand. Like his leg will touch sand. I don't, at least he should wake up and meet that breakfast at least 7:30, 8 o'clock latest. There should be breakfast, Then, of course, there was also the sexual expectations as well. He expected that since I was a dancer, and I used to split in the air.
You should also split in the bedroom as well.
Come on now.
Yes.
I remember that time when we were dating, and then someone found out that you were dating me, and then they were like hailing you that
she's a dancer.
She's a dancer. You're going to enjoy. In my head, I will not lie to you. I was like, I pray that these dancing skills will actually mean something in the bedroom. Let me announce to you, it does not commensurate the longevity, that splitting.
The disparity, okay.
It's not like that in the bedroom. But basically, in a nutshell, it was unmet expectations. He wasn't happy, and I wasn't happy that he was expecting, or he had those expectations from me. So there was disgust, there was disappointment, there was of that, from him to me, and then from me. I was looking at him like, are you a human being? Are you real? Like, you actually think like this? Because some of the things that he was expecting from me, I couldn't relate to them. So it was a case of we definitely should not have married each other. I mean, I'm not the woman that you need, and you're not the man that I need. Unmet expectations.
Yes, unmet expectations. Let me jump in on that. It has led to the ruin of a lot of relationships because most times the home you grew up in, your environment, the society, at times your siblings, your big aunties, even your mom, because of the pictures you have been surrounded with, there is the expectation you tend to have of what the ideal picture
of a home should
exactly
like what a home
should look like.
And you don't even realize that you have these expectations, so you don't even think that
Very
you have
true.
conversations about them.
So true, because it's not like they sat me down to say have these expectations when you get into marriage. Yes. They were just there in my subconscious as a result of what I picked from the various, maybe the female figures
around you.
Failing to realize that you did not grow up in the same home I grew up in. What was modeled to me may not have been what was modeled to you.
Yes. So basically, the first time, like when we were going out, I never cooked for you. You remember?
I do.
Like, I never cooked because in my mind, I just didn't think that I should be cooking for you. And so he believed that I did not know how to cook. So in my mind, yes, I got the right man. He doesn't even expect me to cook.
Let me be quick to say that at that point, I was caught up in the emotional euphoria of having this beautiful, amazing, smart, intelligent woman in my life.
So he was not thinking of the
implication of that statement she made.
Of she doesn't cook, she doesn't. I mean, we just meet, we hang out, So it's like, no, like, but we now married. I remember the first time when you made that statement, like, my mom wakes up in the morning.
Yes.
So if I my mom wakes me up with food. Like, sorry, wait, like your mom wakes you up with food. Like the wake up is come and eat.
Food is already served.
She woke up earlier and cooked
4 a.m. almost every day. Yes.
And then woke you
cleans the house, cleans the surrounding, then works till like 7 a.m.
Wow.
Comes to the room, wakes us up to eat, yes, and also to eat.
So this is what he grew up with. Now, my mom was a nurse. My mom wakes up early. She goes to work. I never recall a picture of us having breakfast like, oh, mommy cooked
and you just go to the kitchen, serve yourself.
No. And then we had,
are you seeing the differences in upbringing now?
We had helps, at some point. So
we didn't have helps.
The figure, what in my head, okay, someone else does the cleaning, someone else does. So I didn't grow up. I grew up wanting to be like, my mom. She goes to work. She's getting on with her career.
Yes.
And I didn't think anybody will expect me to wake up by 4 a.m. to pound yam and then come.
Why will you not pound yam?
I don't know how to pound yam. I never saw my mom pounding yam.
Oh my God.
I'm come and see my husband.
Yes.
So when he told me that, I was like, I thought it was a joke. No, for real.
Imagine my disappointment after the honeymoon, coming back home and well, in my subconscious mind it's 4 a.m. She's still sleeping. It's 5 a.m. She's sleeping. It's 6 a.m. She's sleeping. Okay, she will soon wake up like my mom and go to the kitchen and prepare something. It's 7 a.m. It's 8 a.m. She wakes up. She's discussing with me. In my head, I'm like, woman,
I'm discussing with you. I'm talking about what my thoughts are. Like, see, I'm sapiosexual. So for me, my food is, we're analyzing, we're discussing, we're, comparing things, the Bible. See, I am no matter. I am a Mary true and true. So I want to sit at the feet of Jesus and listen to him.
Woman, will you leave my feet and get to the kitchen? This dude is hungry.
I'm not matter that is so basically this is like me. This is me. And I'm not saying that this is an excuse for women to not do the needful, but I'm just saying that this was the situation that we found ourselves. I genuinely did not think that he'll have those kinds of expectations. And then he also did not think that I would not know that I'm supposed to
do all that. Yes.
So imagine the clash of the titans of
expectations.
And of course, it was now whose expectation is supreme. So I'm arguing that no, honey, if you are hungry, you wake up early and you go prepare something for yourself. And he's thinking, are you mad? Me,
The head of the house.
go. I'm thinking
After paying your bride price and all of that.
yes. And the bride price was
pretty expensive. She's an Igbo woman.
So it's like, I'm like, baby, but you've got hands. Everything that is required for you to be able to cook. And he's thinking, you were spoiled. My head just packed. Me? Spoiled? How will you say that I'm spoiled? No, you were spoiled. Like, who wakes up their kids with food? You were spoiled.
God bless you, I do.
I'm in awe of you. I worship at your feet. Can never be like you. I really aspire to be like you, but who does that? And then he's thinking, they did not bring you up well. You were not brought up well. So, like, all this and all that, and then frustration, and then the days that I would try to do it, I'm doing it like in my mind, almost. They just Marius do this to me, be like, says, like, I can cook, I can wake up by 5 o'clock, but something in me was like, no, this is not how it should be. And something in him, so we had that back and forth, plus the sexual expectation, people who want to marry virgins, God bless your soul, because you're gonna work. You're gonna work.
It's not like ours would have been that bad. It's because I was exposed to certain things I shouldn't have been exposed to.
Yeah.
Pornography.
Yeah.
So that also gave me sexual expectation. With me failing to realize that I was getting married to a virgin who had not given herself to much porn the way I'd given myself to it. So
can you imagine how frustrated he was?
It was really frustrating.
Like, and see, food matters a lot to PJ.
It does.
Even till now.
It does. Can't you see how chubby I am?
Yeah. It really matters to him. So you see, like, those two major things, and this woman just wasn't getting it. So he was not happy. I was not happy, So we definitely got to that point where we were sure
we were not meant for each other. We made a big mistake.
I tell him, you know what? Why didn't you just marry that your girlfriend? That one that you claim is really neat and cooks for you. You probably should have just married her and left me for someone to cook in the morning. So what was the solution? How did we navigate all of that?
First and foremost, I had to sit myself down and ask myself, what is the reason I got into marriage with this woman in the first place? Did I marry her in order for her to gratify those expectations or for something else? I saw that the reason I married her was far beyond those things. That was the first thing for me. And I said to myself rather, if I let her go, even though she wasn't meeting all these needs, would I not have let something beautiful go? So I said to myself, okay, young man, you have to calm down. You have to now start to learn how to reduce those expectations. In fact, before I started reducing those expectations, I said to myself, I have to jettison the expectations I came into the relationship with, and purposely and intentionally started learning her.
Me, because I am amazing. Even though I don't wake up by 5 a.m. But for me too, I also had to start learning that, okay, if I needed to make him happy, food matters to him.
That's the place of compromise.
So
we found a way to meet at the middle. I reduced my expectations,
and I increased my what do you call it now?
You're meeting your delivery.
Yes. So
yes.
I still don't wake up by 5 to cook. I think somehow he has adjusted to not expecting early morning breakfast.
If you actually love the person you are with and you say to yourself that the reason I married her is beyond food or just gratifying my physical needs, then you can make those adjustments. And for herself, she also made certain adjustments as well. She now also had to learn how to cook in bulk
Yeah.
and keep in the refrigerator.
Since I cannot be cooking
every day. Yes.
And part of that frustration also came from, we both, in fact, we're working in the same organization at the time. So
yes.
we resume and close at the same time. So in my head, it's like, why we're like doing the same thing. We come back. So why are you expecting me to now
wake up earlier
and
clean the house?
Just because you think it is my responsibility, we can actually, we can help each other out, and which is what we now did. We found a way, cooking in bulk.
Yes.
And then, PJ is terrified of the kitchen, but he sometimes learns to tiptoe in and out of it. Sometimes, he doesn't like, doing dishes. Till now, he doesn't. But we had to find a way to compromise. And the other things that we did was we're willing to make sacrifices.
Yes,
as well, because,
yes.
I had to make a lot of sacrifices, jettison some of the things. I realized that as much as I believe so much that men should be able to cook, cater to the things in the home, it's not my job to change him and force him to be that version of a man that I think a man should be, because this is 30 something years of having that ideology. So it's not my job to teach him. I'm not his mother and I'm not his teacher. So I'd respect his values and his expectations while he's trying to reduce them and compromise. I will also instead focus on building the kind of home. The person I should be training is my son, is my daughter. It isn't him, and so this is for any woman out there who, no, it's supposed to be like that. Really, if you keep trying to insist on what you think your standards are on the man based on what you've seen on social media, feminist, or be this, be that, you just be causing a lot of chaos, because
yes.
you will not completely change that. The two of you will have to make sacrifices and compromise. And if you want to change anything, you change from the next generation while you're hoping that he is learning and growing as well.
So
and vice versa. So what else did we do again?
Okay, something that was also key in helping us when I realized that, we both work as hard as one another, so that one was working extremely harder than the other, was to actually get a house help.
Yeah.
Because, for example, one of my expectations had to do with laundry as well. I grew up in a home where the woman would every Saturday ensure that yes, the laundry is done and all of that.
Oh my God.
Imagine my disappointment when I discovered that she was not that type. So I had to go and get a washing.
Those of you watching right now, you're thinking that I'm really spoiled. I'm not, okay?
No, she's a very hardworking woman.
In other
those around her know that I can also attest to that as well.
Oh my God.
Yes, so we have to get a house help.
Yes.
Who was now helping to take care. If you can afford that, I would advise that you do that as well.
And guess what? He pays for that.
Yes.
Like he pays for it. So it's more like understanding that, like again, sacrificing and compromising, understanding that, okay, this is important to us, but this is who I'm married to. How else can we solve this problem without, so he's happy to do that, and thank you.
And finally, I would also want to say that you can model what you want to see. My mentor calls it reverse psychology. Instead of demanding, you model it. I like to be treated. For example, one of the expectations I also came into the marriage with had to do with how I am served my food.
He likes he likes to, put it in a tray. There must be water.
There must be water.
Everything he needs has to be there, and then you serve him, and that's amazing. But I grew up from at some point, in fact, the marriage separated, so I never saw my mom do that for anybody. And my siblings, we all go to the kitchen. When you're hungry, food is in the kitchen, go serve yourself. That's how I grew up. So basically, what we're saying is that those expectations will be there, and they are there. It will do you good if you discover them while you're courting and have conversations
about them. So true.
And another thing that will help is if you actually pay attention to the upbringing of the person, because they may not even know that these things have formed ideologies in their heads. You know, I saw I saw a video of someone that the husband was constantly expecting that, you know, when you serve me food, give me 2 meat. You know, like I'm the head of the house, give me 2 meat. Or there's a particular part of the body of the chicken that is reserved
the gizzard
for the man. You know, so if that was a big deal,
yes,
and they saw that while growing up, they'll expect it.
That is
so
true.
Pay attention to some of these things, and don't just spend time like me and PJ did, just talking about the Bible, talking about what, and then we just ignored all of that. And if somehow you have stepped into the marriage and you're realizing, oh, their expectations, and it may not be our own, it may be expectations about money. Maybe your wife expects you to give her allowance, and that is what her father did for her mother.
So true.
So you find a way to compromise, you find a way to sacrifice, and sacrificing means that you will not get 100% what you want. You may not even get what you want, but you find a way to let it go and choose to be happy with what you have. Because marriage is all about making it work. It takes a lot of hard work. I hope that this helps somebody out there.
So true. We worked on all of this. That's the reason why the marriage lasted beyond those 2 years.
Beyond those 2 years.
That is why you can like what you are seeing between us today.
And really, it's also one thing that also helped us have people around you that model the kind of marriage that you desire. You know, seeing Bishop Feb and Reverend Laurie was just like another school in itself.
Very true. So different from my upbringing. Yes.
So it was easy for us to see things and just pick and without feeling like there's something wrong. You know, so have those kinds of people. Don't have friends that they are modeling the kind of marriage that you don't desire. Have people around you that are modeling the kind of marriage, and if you observe, you see that they are doing a lot of compromising, a lot of sacrificing, a lot of selflessness, and I'm sure that the testimony will be like ours. Feel free to drop something, comment on an expectation that you have, or anything. You know, ask us a question, and don't forget to click on the notification button, subscribe,
and share this video. You never can tell whose marriage this will help, this will save, just like our marriage was saved.
Ciao.
See you in the next episode.
See you in